What's going on? This is Craig B. Haven't done a live video for a little bit. Wasn't going to do videos for a while, but I kind of got rejuvenated with this last LCS collection find. Nothing crazy or anything. Maybe people may debate about whether it was worth it or not, but this is just the type of thing I love, all the random stuff. So got a fun little collection of cards here. But a couple other things. I've been sick. Everybody in here keeps on getting sick. We take turns getting sick, and I got some terrible food poisoning. Feeling better today, noticeably better. Still not completely over it yet. I ate a couple slices of pizza at 7-Eleven, and they didn't look too good. I had worked that night and got off work. I didn't have a break. Was hungry, so I stopped there. So don't eat pizza at 7-Eleven unless you see it come fresh out of the oven. So anyway, I got a little cheat sheet here. Tonight was the night. I should post this tonight right after, but Past is Alive. John Jabs did a case of 1991 Donruss. And as I mentioned previously, before he did it, I'm going to do a box set every month. We're looking for the Elite, or more important, the Sandberg auto. Plus, there's also a Nolan Ryan card. But John Jabs, I think it was the 17th box, or was it 18th box, finally pulled the Elite. I saw it live. It was amazing. The Ricky Henderson Elite. So that's awesome. But he stole the idea from me. I didn't steal it from him. What else is going on? Just little... I am putting together the Craigfield 8 for Joel Berry. So Joel, keep in touch with me so I can get your address. I don't want to forget about that. And I think someone mentioned on the John Jab stream, now that I think about it, that the only one that they remember of a Elite being pulled was Dave Durango. I think it was a King Griffey Jr. a while back, and that was from 92 Donruss, if I remember. I just didn't want to forget that. But let's get going on this. I don't have too much else to talk about. First thing I want to do is the stuff that was not in the binders. And I'm just going to go through this really quick. There was a stack of 1986 tops. I plan on buying a box or two of these. And no stars in here or anything other than Winfield. I'm going to buy a couple boxes of those someday to put the set. I'll just throw that in there. Those other two binders that had the upper deck in it, pretty big stack of keeper cards. I mean, they had some of the 90 update, so I opened a box of this one time, but really didn't have much. There's that Rookie Threats card that I like. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But there's Nolan Ryan. There's star cards in here. Then there's also 1990. A lot of that. Pretty much just took a set apart. Here's all those Reggie Jackson. Those are not autographs. And then 89. What else do we have in here? A lot of 89. Pretty much the set minus some of the really good stuff. I'm putting that set together. I think I'm 2 or 3 cards shy. So, what else here? I like to keep... I donate most of the stuff that I don't really keep, but I also like to keep some of the high-end stuff. So there are some top finest in here. So I put Eddie Murray, Jim Tomei, Mike Mussina. I don't know if that's like a green variation card. Edgar Martinez. So there's some Hall of Famers. And then the rest of this, it's a big stack. The rest of this was a bunch of nobodies. So I'll keep that, or maybe just keep the Hall of Famers. We'll see. What else here? So I put this aside. Oh, okay. So this is, hold on real quick here. There's just a lot of stuff here. It was 95% baseball, so that's good. This is a stack of maybe 90%. This is a stack. There was a bunch of these, the Metal Universe, so I just set this aside just to remind me those were in there. There was some Prism basketball. There was no real big keeper. There's Optic basketball, but this is high-end stuff. There was a lot of Bowman Chrome, and there was multiple, I think 3 of these Andrew Vaughn. I don't really keep a second-year cards, but... So I'll hold on to these Bowman Chrome, and then here's Topps Chrome. It looked like they opened a blaster or 2 of these. Here's some more of this Prism basketball. So there's high-end stuff in there. Higher-end stuff in there. I'm going to save that stuff for a minute. Okay. Just putting the stuff to the side here. Sorry. A little unorganized. And obviously, today is Monday. And that's what I wanted to talk about. The Monday Night Football game. This was going to be a video where I introduced whether I won my fantasy football championship. I beat the odds the last 2 weeks and was an underdog and made it to the championship game. I was a 16-point underdog in the championship game. Coming into tonight, my opponent had one player left, Joe Burrow, the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, but I was up by 30.5 points. Burrow's capable of scoring 30.5, and he's 30.5. I think he scored 30 twice this year. But this was against a better defense, and we all know what happened. The player had that really serious injury for Buffalo. They postponed the game, so we don't know what we're going to do. Not going to do anything crazy like, oh, no one's a champion. If that's the final, that's the final. I win, but, I'm not really too concerned about that. I hope that Buffalo kid's okay. But so I don't know if I won. I was probably going to win it, but I don't know if I won my fantasy football championship yet. Okay, so here's some other ones. Figio. This is, he has these packs for sale at the LCS. I never buy them, but I kind of like how these cards look. Robin Ventura. So he had a bunch of these posts, and I'll show you some more of those. This is the big hurt, the big skirt for Mr. T. Let's go through these real quick here. There was a ton of these score, not too many keepers. Cup sticker there. There's some of these triple play. And I don't know why I keep like a Gary Sheffield one of these. This is the scratcher in the back. So this is just some of the random stuff. Some more. There's a triple play. Pittsburgh, they're milking a cow. And there's a Doug in the picture too. Is that a Doug? No, it's a stool. Okay. This is one of my favorite cards. It's worth nothing. It's a little beat up, but that's Mark Grace. My Cubbies. I've never seen that card. I'm sure it's not valuable, even a PSA 10. Another Gracie. I actually had this same Delano DeShields gold card. There was also a bunch of this year's tops. And there's a couple of these also mixed in too. There's some random stuff. Oh, and I also opened up those 8 packs that I had too. Wasn't much in them. Manny Ramirez, Bo Jackson, Mike Piazza. Those are just probably the better cards I got out of the packs. Okay, let me get this out of the way here. There were some U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame cards. I did look through here. There's a lot of the hockey, the Miracle and Ice stuff. Nothing too special that I know of. Let's go through this. I'm getting actually to the good stuff in just a minute here. So here's some of the other stuff. Here was some of the Bowman Chrome. Like, I think I'm going to have to stop collecting Ke'Bryan Hayes. Probably just do his rookie years and second year cards. The same for Dylan Carlson, first and second. You got to stop at some point. But there was like multiple of these cards, so it was a little weird. Or did someone just have a ton of them and they were just ditching certain players? And then here's all what I consider keeper cards, like inserts and rookies. So they must have opened a bunch of these boxes or hangers, whatever. Mostly just George Kirby, Joe Ryan. There's a Shohei Ohtani. Mostly just some of the minor rookies. So this was a set that was in there. I think I mentioned this in the preview video. This is one of the Score Superstar, like 100. And I think the whole set was there because, my first initial thing was this opened. So the King Griffey Jr. is not in there. Every single player I think is in here. There's the Bo. The Bo was the only one that was taken out and put in a different location. And the King Griffey Jr. was there. So, because they're really not that worth much, I wasn't too concerned about keeping the set together. It'd be kind of cool to have them in my individual player stacks. I had 3 Sandbergs out of it. I had one of those scorecards, and then this one and these. I have multiple of those, but they're Sandbergs. I already looked at this. Okay, we're getting there. So I found this, and I've never seen this before. These are they're not stickers. They're miniature cards, and I did a little 10 minutes research, and they're called the French Bray Incorporated Wilcox Walter Furlong Paper Company. It's like something in Baltimore. So, I saw the Oreo set, so I'm like, oh, somebody found it, and they took the Ripken out. There's a Ripken. So I saw like a PSA 10 of a different, like a kind of unknown player, and it actually went for a little bit. This card is Got not a crease, but kind of just like the way that the card was made or something on top there. But the Frank Robinson, I don't think there's any other. Pete Harnish. Steve Finley was a big name for a while there. So that's cool. That's a kind of a rarer, I guess, Ripken card. So let's look at the cards that I got out of that. These are all, for what I'm going to show you now, is just cards that were in the binder, the one particular binder. Now, these cards, and I'm going to just start off with the stack here. These cards I will say were, I would consider to be mid to lower grade, but I didn't expect them to be in perfect condition. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been thrown into a, a $30 purchase. So, no, it was a $50 purchase, right? But so I'm just going to go through these real quick. And what I liked about this, Bobby Cox Hall of Famer, was it wasn't just, this is not, yeah, Burt Campanare, so it wasn't just a bunch of commons with 1 or 2 stars in it. There was actually, a decent amount of stars, and I'll get to the better stuff in a minute. I'm not going to go through all these, but this is just showing different years and stuff. And I collect these sets. I have a bunch of these. I have a decent amount of these. I think there's Fred Lynn. Is a little banged up. That's why I didn't put it in the better stuff. Dusty Baker. So there was decent players in here. King Griffey Jr., Sr., Willie Randolph. So that's one stack. I'm going to go to this. It's actually a double stack. On top here we have Tony Perez, and he didn't make it because of this crease. Condition was a little bit of an issue. I mean, when you're dealing with throw-in cards for vintage, you're going to have some condition issues. Like this one's bad. I'm going to toss this. I probably threw about a dozen cards away now. And when I go through them again for the set, I'll toss a few more. But for the most part, like I said, there was some mid and then lower end like set stuff, which is fine. So I'm just showing you like the general, some team cards, Mel Stottlemyre, some traded cards, stuff like that. So we got that. So 2 big stacks there. Here's a stack of just the 1975. This was my most exciting part about this. I am putting together what I'd consider to be a lower grade set of it, but I don't care. Here's ones that didn't make the cut for any penny holder or top loader. Dusty Baker, Bucky F and Dent, and same thing with these, the 75s. You would have thought that it would have been mostly just complete commons, but there were some decent names in here. John Mayberry has been in a lot of like kind of insert where are they now, then and now type cards in the last year. Charlie Howe still looks old. Jay Jones, so Cecil Cooper, that was banged up. And then there's a lot of Gold Cup cards in here. Bill Matlock, Bake McBride, Claudell Washington. Every single one of those, I think there was every year they had was a Dwight Evans. Here's a couple Dwight Evans, Mike Hargrove. So I'm actually kind of excited, Frank Tanana, to start putting together more of the 75 set. I'll probably have to buy a couple. There's a Fred Lynn. Oh, Fred Bean. I thought it was a Fred Lynn. God. A Pete Broberg. A couple Jack Brohammers out of another year. So just through that real quick here. So these, you can sell lots of those for decent money, not big money, but so the 3 cards that I set aside that did not make a top loader. We have the Dennis Lamp rookie. I bought this card for $1 a couple months ago, as advertised to be in perfect condition. It had creases on it, up where that is, but this one's in a lot better condition, so this will go on the Lamp. We had this card, and I believe it's a autograph of Doug DeCinces. I don't know why someone would fake that. There's really Manny Trio I'm familiar with because he was a Cub. Mike Cubbage I'm familiar with because there's a word Cub in it. But then the Doug DeCinces is autographed. So, and then this Dale Murphy, and it's not really his rookie or that. This is my favorite Dale Murphy card. I just like the coloring of it, the border, the yellow, all the reds and whites in it. Just a cool looking card. So I like that Dale Murphy card. So once again, I would consider these to be mid to lower grade, but they're top loaders. All these collections I get extra top loaders. So I got a S-ton of top loaders, shit ton. I don't know why I'm afraid to. So let me just cut this in half here. Okay. Let me just cut this in half. Okay. So we're just going to go through these. Carl Yastrzemski, there's a Pete Rose, a Reggie Jackson, Joe Morgan, George Brett. Some of these had little things here and there. That Johnny Bench is in decent condition. Another Johnny Bench. Another Morgan. I collect Willie Stargell. I like Willie Stargell. A couple of those. This Lou Brock card was in good condition. Another Willie Stargell. It's got a little ding on the bottom there. I already had this Johnny Bench card. This Mike Schmidt card has a little crease in it, but this is actually one of the more kind of like wanted Mike Schmidt cards. And then a Fergie Jenkins. So that's the bottom half that I put it in. Another Dave Parker, the Cobra, Willie Stargell. One of the cards I had to toss was a Steve Carlton that looked like somebody left it out in a thunderstorm. Here's a 1975 rookie infielders. This one barely made the cut for a top holder, but Phil Garner and Keith Hernandez. I've also remembered Tom Bereiser. Is it Weaver? Is it Garner that you need? Do you need this? Let me know. So here's another 1975. It's got a Sandy Koufax on it. Here's a Steve Carlton. These are all, the rest are 1975. Raleigh Fingers is miscut. Dave Winfield has a little thing on the bottom. Willie Stargell, a little banged up all around. The Brooks Robinson's a cool card, little thing on the bottom. Reggie Jackson is a little rounded corners, but miscut. The Mike Schmidt was the thing that kind of sold me on this, and the Mike Schmidt was the best condition of all the cards. It's not gradable, but I would say it's in one of the better conditions of the ones I got. And then we have an Ernie Banks there. So, ton of 1975, very cool. And now let's start to get, before we get to the fun stuff, this was all the football that I kept. We have a couple Dolphins that go in my non-Marino Dolphins book. Here's a couple cards of players that I keep. Oh, I forgot. There was a stack that I put in my keep, but not in a book or in a top loader type thing. Smaller stack, but these two Dan Marinos came in top loaders. I was excited when I saw them, but didn't realize they were just skybox. So I'll put those in my Marino book. Two of those. I don't know why I'm holding on to that per se. And then there was one page in that book of old beat up football cards, and a couple of those got tossed. And these are the ones that will make it into my box of just stuff that I keep. So that was football. There's a little bit more basketball, but I'll go through that quick. They did a pretty good job of getting rid of or taking out most of the stuff. A Kike Vandeweghe Star 86 card that may have to go in the other keeper box. And then just players that I just happen to keep. Barkley off center. And so these are definitely worth, in my opinion, holding on to. Okay, so the two that came in top loaders, there was a Grant Hill. Not sure why that's in a top loader, but it had a $2.50 price tag. And then this one, this was in one of the stacks of the basketball cards. And I think they missed it. I think Joel Embiid is a decent player. Let me know if he's not. And it was numbered out of 49. So, man, maybe they missed it. Maybe they didn't care. But I think out of 49, a decent player you'd want to keep. So, the other stuff for basketball, and I showed these in the preview videos. These are the oversized 1994 Michael Jordan cards. Little too excited about these when I saw them. I didn't really know what they were. I know they didn't go for a ton. There's 4, and these are more of the Jordan. I think this is like the checklist almost. It's Team USA. These are the Bulls, and this is like an art card. There's 10 of them. These conservatively go for $3 to $5 each. If you want to go in the middle and say $4, that's $40 worth of Jordans right there. So that's not bad. When I sell Jordans, I'll try to keep like one or include a couple in it. The problem with these is just packaging these. So these were also in the book. I may have glanced at these in the back. This is nothing. There's no famous players in here. This is from a AA Baltimore Orioles. Nothing in here. There's 2 of these. A little rough condition. One's better than the other. These are numbered out of 50,000, 1992 Upper Deck. It may have been, is it a box topper? That's too big for a box. Maybe they sent it with cases to dealers. But it just says the 200 Club. And that's Luis Aparicio. That's Brooks Robinson, kind of the headliner. We have Milt Pappas, who looks like Gomer Pyle. And then we have it like controversial players like J.R. Richard and then Buckner. So there was 2 of those, numbered respectively 6,011 and 6,010 out of 50,000. So I have no idea what I'll do with those. I'll hold on to them for something, I'm sure. What else did I want to mention? I'm going to get to the fun stuff here. I'll tell the full story about it when I do it, but I ordered a subscription box in October, like October 20th in that range. I got it on December 28th. And a little, I don't know if shenanigans are going on, a little bit my fault, but I'll tell that story. That's one of the next videos I'm going to do. What else here? I don't want to talk about that right now. We're running a little long here. Okay. Where are we good? So these were in there, and I went through these. These are all clam cases of Hostess players. I don't know why they specifically put them in clam cases. Here is also this couple. This is Jeremy Mayfield and the NASCAR. And then these are Monsters of the Gridiron, and that's a Randall Cunningham in a really, really poor looking outfit there. Who else is in here? Randall Cunningham. There's Eric Swan, Eric the Red, in these are really bad looking costumes. That's Ken Harvey, although it looks like Hen Harvey. That's Ken Harvey, and we had, unfortunately, doubles of Ken Harvey. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those. Okay. What else do we got here? We have some Japanese. I don't know where they got these and why. Maybe they bought one of those mystery packs that had these in there, but I have no idea who they are. I don't know what I'm going to do with these Japanese cards. I mentioned before that condition was kind of an issue on these. So they didn't have too many of them, but I hate classic cards, classic sports cards. They're like the worst. There's only one card that I would have wanted to get out of all these, and that was the Brett Favre. And as you can see, these 2 were stuck together, I believe. Or was it stuck to the back? It doesn't matter. The Brett Favre's ruined. Okay. So we have a Jose Canseco, rated rookie. You can see the top there. Although I have to maybe pull this out to see if it's the case at all. But it looks like it's pretty beat up with the scum stash there. I think it's time to let the Frank Tavares card go. I know he could have been a relative of yours, but I think it's time to let the Frank Tavares. It's going in the trash right now. Okay, there was a big stack of minor league soccer cards. I think wasn't SW you sent one, or was it Mr. T? But we have Joe Papaleo on the front there, and then we have Carrick and Gosius. He's looking at his butt right there. Like, dude, wait till you're out. Wait till the game's over. So that's minor league soccer. I have no clue what to do with that stack. These were, I feel like I'm missing a stack here. Hold on. Yeah, give me 1 second here. I know this. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here it is. His name is Stephanie. I'm not lying. The dude's name is Stephanie. Okay. These were all cards that were in either a one-touch or penny sleeves that should not have been. Just thought I would show those to you. Chuck Finley. Got Rick Roden. Gary Carter. Otis Nixon. I guess Gary Carter and Lee Smith are Hall of Famers, but we got the Mark Langston collection. Okay. So these were also in there. Got Michael Jackson cards. Woo-hoo! There's Michael looking really creepy mustache and really creepy hat. And that sweater too. Same type of thing there. Looks like a wax statue. These are stickers with the bow tie. A really creepy looking picture there with a pretend Spud McKenzie. Could be the real one, I guess. He had connections. And then what is he going to do with that fist? I don't even want to know. This is a pretty bad art, I think. Dracula Vlad cards were in there. And then we have the Pit Craftsman Performers cards We have the Mechanics Creeper, not quite sure what that is. The Woodworkers, Mechanics Toolbox, Benchtop Radial Saw Arm Saw, Magnetic Torpedo Leveler, and the California Framer, which I live in California, but I don't know what that is. So we have Craftsman Pit Performers cards. Don't know why they opened those. What else do we have here? We're getting there. I'll let you go about your business soon. We have 2000 and 2001 Loyola Marymount sports cards. Soccer, basketball, and volleyball. This must have been just a thrilling pack to open. Out of the packs that I opened, we got a Tom. Thought I would include that. And I'm obsessed with these. I may actually seriously hold on to these and collect these going forward. I've probably thrown them away before. These are cards that were in rubber bands, where the rubber bands stuck to the cards. We have Devon White. I don't want to break it. And then Ken Patterson. So rubber band cards, as you can see. And then finally, have a feeling I've found one of these in one of the collections before. I think this is the little bastard that sold this collection to the LCS and took all the good cards out of it first. Little bastard played for Bel Air, rich, snooty Bel Air. Okay, that's all I have for you for this. I'll probably come back and do that box, the subscription box next. I don't want it to be too old. And then I'll probably do my box of 1991 Donruss, but if you watch the past alive, good chance if you watch them, you watch me, you'd be bored of that. So maybe I'll try to hold that off till the end of the month. But anyway, thank you very much, and I appreciate it. Talk to you later.